Feds recommend that R.Kelly be sentenced to more than 25 years. Lock him up and throw away the key, says one of his victims. Welcome to Viral World News. Here information is money. First, subscribe to the channel to stay connected to all the viral news from around the world. Well, R.Kelly was found guilty of the crime of sex trafficking of women and minors in a trial in a New York federal court in the United States. Kelly faced a total of 9 charges, 1 count of extortion, with 14 underlying acts that included sexual exploitation of a child, kidnapping, bribery and sex trafficking. And also 8 additional counts of violations of the Mann Act, a sex trafficking law. 50 prosecution and defense witnesses took the stand during the 5-week trial, including victims who were identified as Jane in Kelly's charges. There were 45 prosecution witnesses. Jane was the singer Aaliyah, who died in 2001. Jurors heard from several witnesses who were present at his wedding to Kelly on August 31, 1994, when he was 27 and she was 15. Prosecutors showed copies of the couple's marriage license application, which listed Aaliyah's age as 18 at the time of the marriage. Kelly's former manager, Demetrius Smith, testified reluctantly, and claimed that he bribed an employee at a Chicago area welfare office to create an ID card for Aaliyah. I made an offer to her, the social worker, and she took the money, Smith testified. I gave her $500, he said. Although the ID did not list Aaliyah's date of birth, an Illinois officer testified on September 15 that generally a person must be at least 18 years old to obtain that specific type of ID. Nathan Edmond, a minister who married the two, spoke publicly for the first time about the marriage, and said he met them on their wedding day. I didn't think it was someone special. I didn't understand anything, Edmond testified. The jurors also heard from a woman who identified herself only as Stephanie, who said that she met Kelly at an event in Chicago in 1999 when she was 17, and that he eventually invited her to his studio. I remember him asking me how old I was, Stephanie testified. When I said I was 17, he said okay. Stephanie testified that Kelly sexually abused her when she was 17 and recorded that they had sex. He paid for her trip to Florida on her 18th birthday and she stopped talking to him soon after the trip. She described fearing his angry outbursts, saying he would yell at her in public places. A former radio intern, who identified herself as Sonia, testified on September 9 that Kelly invited her to travel to Chicago to interview him in his studio in 2003 when she was 21 and that as soon as she arrived, a staff member put her in a room. Sonia quickly realized she was locked out. She said she was kept in the room for several days, occasionally released to go to the bathroom and shower. The door was locked. I wanted to get out, Sonia testified. She also said she lost consciousness after eating her first meal in days and saw Kelly fixing his pants when she woke up. She testified that she believed he sexually assaulted her when she was unconscious. I was sexually abused, Sonia testified. There was something in me that was not wanted. Follow the list of cases Kelly has. In the Northern District of Illinois, more federal charges, including child pornography and obstruction charges. In Minnesota, for 2 counts of engaging in prostitution with a minor, and charges in Illinois for aggravated criminal sexual abuse. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges and denies any wrongdoing. The indictment released in July 2019 in the Northern District of Illinois points to Kelly of having filmed himself having sex with at least 4 girls under the age of 18 in early 1998. A few years later, Kelly learned that some of these videos were missing from his collection. He and others began paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to various people to get them back, the indictment says. Also in 2019, a grand jury in Cook County, Illinois, indicted Kelly on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 alleged victims, 3 of whom were listed as under the age of 17. That indictment was followed a few months later by another indictment by a Cook County grand jury on 11 counts ranging from aggravated criminal sexual assault and criminal sexual assault to aggravated criminal sexual abuse. In August 2019, the Hennepin County Prosecutor's Office in Minnesota announced that Kelly was charged with 2 counts of prostitution with a person under the age of 18. According to the criminal complaint, a woman said that the incident happened in 2001 when she was 17 years old. Well, in short, according to Kitti Jones, another of R.Kelly's victims, tells us she has no problem with the prosecutor's recommendation. However, no amount of time is going to give her and others back their time or remove their trauma. Lizzette Martinez told TMZ, Kelly more than earned a life sentence due to the fact that he hurt so many people over several decades. She doesn't think his abuse will come to an end, because, as federal prosecutors point out, the guy has proven time and time again that he is using his power to get what he wants, and he can't get the chance to attack on women again. Well, that's all for now. You can see more news by clicking below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay on top of all the news, because here information is money.